We have just experienced the 25 sages' perfect penetration from the Sharangamagga Sutra, which represents the ultimate compilation of methods used by Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and Arhats to progress from ordinary beings to fully awakened sages. Within this, special emphasis was placed on Guanyin Bodhisattva's method of cultivation, the perfect penetration of the ear organ, which means turning the hearing backward to hear the self-nature. Today, we take this a step further to explore how to transform consciousness into wisdom, and how to look inward to contemplate our own true nature. Zen Buddhism shares a famous koan about the 3 stages of cultivation. In the beginning, mountains are mountains and waters are waters. At this stage, we are ordinary people who are attached to the world right before our eyes, taking it all as absolute reality. When we read the Maharatnakuta Sutra, the Great Ratnakuta Sutra, what we see are 49 distinct assemblies of scriptures, the Buddha Amitabha, the Venerable Mahakassapa, and a series of real, tangible methods and stories. We desperately long to find a precious treasure among them to aid our own practice. This is our first interpretation, the stage of being or form. Later on, mountains are no longer mountains, and waters are no longer waters. At this stage, we become practitioners. Having seen through the illusions of the world, we realize that all phenomena are empty, and that all conditioned things are like dreams, illusions, bubbles, or shadows. When we read the Maharatnakuta Sutra again, what we see is the boundless, ultimate treasure, that the Pure Land exists within the mind alone, and that afflictions themselves are identical to enlightenment. Every method is simply a finger pointing at the moon of emptiness. This is our second interpretation, the stage of emptiness. Yet, if we stop here, we fall into the trap of partial emptiness and become isolated practitioners who only seek self-liberation, which is not the ultimate realization of the Mahayana path. Therefore, there is a third stage. Mountains are once again mountains, and waters are once again waters. At this point, we are awakened beings. On the very foundation of thoroughly realizing the emptiness of all phenomena, we return to this world. The mountain is still that mountain, and the water is still that water. However, the mountains and waters at this moment are no longer the ones filled with our initial attachments. Instead, they are the wondrous expressions and functions of our true, inherent mind. They are simultaneously empty and existing. Emptiness and form are not two separate things. Our journey of cultivation this time is precisely to complete this third step. We will take emptiness as our foundation, existence as our expression, and the oneness of stillness and illumination as our root. We will restore the Maharatnakuta Sutra, this vast collection of all teachings, into a practical guide on how to actually realize perfect penetration once we understand it. Stillness is silence. It is cessation. It is the fundamental essence of prajna wisdom. It is the practice of self-benefit through looking inward to see that the nature of the mind is fundamentally empty and that all things are devoid of a permanent self. This is the very foundation of becoming an awakened being, for without it, all actions meant to benefit others remain merely conditioned worldly good deeds that will eventually fade away. In our second interpretation, we talked about emptiness, but emptiness is often misunderstood as absolute nothingness or total annihilation. This is called stubborn emptiness, which is a major pitfall in Zen practice. The prajna-related texts within the Maharatnakuta Sutra, such as the Kasyapa chapter, reveal the wisdom of true emptiness and wondrous existence. Emptiness does not mean a void of nothingness. Rather, It means infinite possibility. Imagine a physical room. It is precisely because the space inside is empty that it can hold all kinds of furniture. If the room itself were already completely packed with a solid object, it would lose its function as a space. Our true nature is exactly the same. It is like boundless space, without form or appearance, and precisely because it is empty, it can manifest the mountains, rivers, the earth, love, hate, Buddhas, and ordinary living beings. Therefore, emptiness is not the absence of things. It is the prerequisite for anything to exist at all. It is the truest form of existence in the universe and the ultimate source from which everything arises. This marks the leap from the wisdom of the lesser vehicle to the greater vehicle. The initial stage realizes the non-self of the person, recognizing that this I, which is merely a temporary combination of the five aggregates, does not possess a fixed, unchangeable entity. This is the first step of cultivation, breaking the attachment to the personal ego. The Mahayana wisdom taught in the Maharatnakuta Sutra goes a step further to realize the non-self of phenomena. Not only is the ego empty, but all the various phenomena we see, hear, and think about are also temporary combinations of causes and conditions, completely lacking any independent, inherent nature of their own. On top of this, Zen practice demands an ultimate leap, moving from no-self to no-not-self. What does this mean? When you deeply experience that even the very concept of me is an illusion, the boundary that separates you from the world collapses. When the separate I disappears, where is the world outside of me? At that moment, the sound of the wind and the rain are the direct expressions of your true nature, and the mountains, rivers, and earth are the manifestations of the cosmic body of reality. You are no longer an isolated individual looking at the world. You are the world. This is why Zen masters say, the vibrant green bamboo is nothing less than the body of reality. The blossoming yellow flowers are nothing but ultimate wisdom. Only then can you truly understand the meaning of the great compassion of being one with all, because another person's suffering is no longer just their suffering. That pain is happening inside your own body. Relieving their suffering becomes as natural and instantaneous as pulling a thorn out of your own skin, requiring no second thought. This is the initial realm of stillness. It is not a cold, sterile void, but a profound peace deeply connected to the lifeblood of all things in the universe. It does not mean losing the world. It means becoming the world. To see this source of stillness, one must first see through the illusion of movement, and the root of all movement lies in the mind. Throughout different assemblies of the Maharatnakuta Sutra, the Buddha repeatedly explains the illusory nature and functions of the mind. Zen Buddhism combines these teachings with Yogacara philosophy to create an incredibly precise map of the human psyche. This map is not meant to turn us into religious theorists. Its purpose is to let us accurately locate the root cause of our psychological suffering during practice and cure it from the source. The first 6 consciousnesses, our sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and intellect, are the parts of our mind we are most familiar with. They act like 6 tireless purchasing agents, constantly importing countless sensory goods from the outside world. When the eyes see a beautiful form or the ears hear praise, the intellect gives rise to attachment and desire. When the body feels pain or the nose smells something foul, the intellect gives rise to hatred and aversion. These 6 agents are not inherently wrong, but their flaw lies in their blind loyalty. They gather data blindly and faithfully hand all the goods over to their immediate manager, the seventh consciousness, known as the Manas consciousness. Manas means deliberation, but its deliberation is a fiercely biased, never-ending grip on a personal ego. Its sole job is to point at the deepest warehouse of our mind and declare to everything, "This is me. I own this. I control this." It is the ultimate source of all discrimination. It takes the raw data brought in by the first six senses and slaps labels on them. I like this. I hate that. This helps me. This hurts me. Consequently, the first six consciousnesses become polluted. The world we see is no longer the world as it truly is, but a world completely distorted through the lens of ego attachment. We live in a self-made prison built by our own ego, totally unaware of it. The sudden shouts and strikes used by Zen masters are designed to shatter this web of logic and discrimination built by the Manas consciousness with a single shock, letting you glimpse the reality outside the prison in a split second. The warehouse that the Manas consciousness points to is the eighth consciousness, the Alaya consciousness, or the storehouse consciousness. It acts like an infinite database, storing the seeds left behind by every single action, word, and thought we have ever had since time immemorial. Not a single word you say, action you take, or even a fleeting thought you think ever truly disappears. Instead, they turn into seeds stored away in this warehouse. The storehouse itself is completely neutral. It simply stores information. However, because the Manas consciousness acts as a biased judge, these seeds get tagged with qualities of good, bad, or neutral. When external conditions ripen, the seeds in the warehouse are triggered and manifest as our current thoughts, behaviors, and ultimately, our entire destiny. This is the underlying logic of how karma operates. What we call our personality and deep-seated habits are simply certain powerful seeds in the Alaya consciousness constantly manifesting into our reality. Transforming consciousness into wisdom is a form of spiritual surgery performed by Zen practitioners. The first step is to rest in the present moment and let the purchasing agents take a break. Through practices like breath mindfulness or meditating on a koan, we stop the first six sensory agents from wildly gathering data from the outside world. For instance, focusing entirely on the breath forces the nasal sense to stay present without caring about pleasant or unpleasant scents, and forces the auditory sense to just listen to the sound of breathing without reacting to outside noise. This is called drawing in and mastering the senses. The second step is to observe the ego attachment and make the judge shut up. As your mind settles down slightly, you can begin to clearly see the manager, the Manas consciousness, at work. You will vividly perceive exactly how your thoughts arise and how your discriminating mind of liking and disliking operates. At this point, do not follow the thoughts and do not judge them, simply watch them. This act of pure watching is awareness. It is the initial, wondrous application of ultimate wisdom. The longer you observe it without reacting, the weaker its grip becomes. The third step is to go deep into the warehouse and transform those seeds into pure wisdom. When the power of the ego judge is weakened, you gain the opportunity to plunge deep into the dark warehouse of the Alaya consciousness. Spiritual awakening, or seeing into one's nature, in Zen is like a flash of ultimate wisdom that instantly lights up the entire warehouse. In that light, you discover that the true nature of all those seeds is completely empty. They are not you, nor do they belong to you. In this monumental shift, the Alaya storehouse consciousness is transformed into the great perfect mirror wisdom, which perfectly reflects all things without holding onto a single reflection. The judging manas consciousness is transformed into the wisdom of equality, which drops all distinctions between me and not me, and realizes that all living beings are fundamentally equal. The sixth intellect consciousness is transformed into the wisdom of wondrous observation, allowing one to clearly perceive all things without generating attachment. Finally, the first 5 physical senses are transformed into the wisdom of all-accomplishing action, ready to respond to any situation and accomplish everything needed to benefit living beings. The 49 assemblies of the Maharatnakuta Sutra are essentially 49 different surgical plans given by the Buddha to guide us through this magnificent process of transforming consciousness into wisdom. Some methods begin with the first 6 senses, while others dive straight into the source of the Alaya consciousness, but they all share the exact same goal: to turn us from slaves of our minds into masters of our minds. This is the path of practicing stillness. It is not about suppressing thoughts or escaping the world, but a radical internal revolution that applies the surgical knife to the deepest parts of the self. Within the immense treasury of the Maharatnakuta Sutra, the mindfulness of the Buddha, Pure Land recitation, taught in the Infinite Life Assembly, is undoubtedly one of the most widely practiced and deeply influential methods. Yet, to many people, this seems like a complete paradox. Zen takes no thought as its core principle, aiming to break through all mental deliberation to directly see one's original face. The Pure Land path, on the other hand, emphasizes holding onto the name of the Buddha, focusing the mind entirely on remembering the Buddha without forgetting, and seeking rebirth in his pure realm. One path demands nothingness, while the other demands form. One demands letting go, while the other demands grasping. Are these two paths completely contradictory, or do they lead to the exact same destination? If we do not unlock the hidden meaning here, Zen and Pure Land will remain separate, and our practice will always face obstacles. First, we must correctly understand the Zen concept of no thought. The 6th Patriarch Huaining explicitly stated in the Platform Sutra, "In this teaching of ours, from the past down to the present, no thought has been established as our core principle." But he immediately went on to explain, what is meant by no thought? To see all things without the mind becoming stained or attached. This is no thought. He further added, no means being free from the dualistic dualities and all defilements of the mind. Thought means being mindful of the true nature of reality. Clearly, no thought does not mean knowing absolutely nothing or suppressing all thoughts until the mind is a blank void, which would make a person no different from a lifeless rock or piece of wood. True no thought is to have thoughts yet remain unattached to them. It means your mind is like a polished mirror. When a thought comes, the mirror reflects it perfectly. When the thought goes, the mirror leaves absolutely no trace. It is a state of complete freedom where you are never stuck to or swept away by your thoughts. The core essence of the mind, the true nature of reality, remains permanently pure and unmoved. This is the genuine meaning of no thought. Second, we must examine the progressive stages of chanting the Buddha's name. This practice looks incredibly simple on the surface, but it possesses remarkably subtle depths, acting as a compassionate ladder provided by the Buddha for ordinary people whose minds are filled with scattered thoughts. The first step is using one thought to replace 10,000 thoughts. The untrained human mind is like a roaring waterfall or a wild horse, racing out of control without a moment of peace. Trying to force it into a state of no thought right away is nothing but a pipe dream. This single phrase, Amitabha Buddha, serves as a rein for that wild horse and a dam for that roaring waterfall. If your mind is flooded with endless scattered thoughts, this practice gives you one single, pure thought to hold on to. All your mental energy is channeled into remembering and repeating this one phrase, using this single focus to crowd out the thousands of chaotic thoughts. This is fighting fire with fire, the most practical and deeply compassionate tool available in spiritual practice. The second step is moving from chaos to single-minded focus. When you first start, your mouth might be chanting the Buddha's name while your mind is still racing, with 10 stray thoughts interrupting every single chant. However, if you persist and pull back your 6 senses, gathering in those 6 internal thieves, and focus purely on the name of the Buddha, your stray thoughts will naturally diminish. The chant becomes seamless and continuous, moving from the lips into the heart, until it feels as though the name is flowing out from your mind all on its own. At this point, you enter a state of focused concentration where only the Buddha's name exists and nothing else can disturb you. The third step is moving from having a thought to chanting with no thought. When this concentration reaches its absolute peak, a massive breakthrough occurs. Suddenly, the dualistic split between me who is chanting and the Buddha who is being chanted completely vanishes. There is no longer a sense of an ego performing the practice. The chant is the mind, and the mind is the chant. It is there without you forcing it, yet it is completely vibrant and clear. At this stage, you are still chanting because the sound is crystal clear, yet you are in a state of no thought because both the subject and object have completely dissolved. This is the ultimate meditative absorption of mindfulness, where the ego and others are entirely forgotten. When we reach this ultimate absorption, we can look back and see that this state is entirely free of the concepts of self or others, completely unstained by any thought, while the inherent nature of the mind shines with absolute clarity. What difference is there between this and the sixth patriarch's description of being mindful of the true nature of reality while remaining unattached to thoughts? There is absolutely no difference. It turns out that holding onto the name of the Buddha in the Pure Land tradition is the most concrete, actionable entry point to achieve the Zen state of no thought, while the Zen state of no thought is the ultimate destination that the Pure Land practice naturally leads to. One starts with form and existence, while the other starts with emptiness, but the view from the top of the mountain is exactly the same. The Maharatnakuta Sutra places a Pure Land text like the Infinite Life Assembly right alongside a wisdom text like the Kasyapa chapter for this very reason. The Buddha is telling us, "My children, I have prepared different boats for you. You can ride the boat of wisdom, or you can ride the boat of Amitabha. The boats look different, but they will both carry you to the exact same shore. Do not stand on the riverbank arguing over which boat is better. What truly matters is that you choose one and actually get on board." Illumination means contemplation. It means to shine light. It is the wondrous application of compassion that reaches outward to follow conditions and use limitless practical tools to help others, embodying the Bodhisattva path. If stillness is like the bright moon hanging in the night sky, casting its pure light for thousands of miles, then illumination is that very moonlight, selflessly pouring over the mountains, rivers, and plains, reflecting in every single body of water. A common misunderstanding is that realizing emptiness makes a person cold, detached, or eager to escape from society. But this is the absolute greatest distortion of emptiness. Zen teaches that great doubt leads to great awakening, small doubt leads to small awakening, and no doubt leads to no awakening. Similarly, profound stillness inevitably gives rise to vast illumination. Small stillness brings small illumination, and a lack of stillness results in no illumination at all. A thorough experience of stillness must give birth to a boundless urge to illuminate and help others, because the compassion that drives a person to guide living beings comes directly from the deepest realization of emptiness. Ordinary people have compassion too, but their compassion is bound up in personal emotion, based entirely on relationship dynamics and how close or distant someone is to their ego. We love our families far more than we love strangers, and we sympathize with people we like much more than people we dislike. This kind of compassion is conditional and discriminating, tightly bound to our ego attachment. It feels warm, but it is incredibly narrow. In contrast, a bodhisattva's compassion is unconditional and universal, shining without any discrimination whatsoever, just like the warmth of the sun. The sun shines on everything uniformly, never asking whether it is warming up a majestic mountain or a low ditch, a fragrant flower or a poisonous weed. How can a bodhisattva do this? Because through the practice of stillness, they have thoroughly seen through the emptiness of the separate self. They deeply understand that labels like family, enemy, or stranger are merely mental tags slapped onto temporary combinations of causes and conditions by the seventh consciousness. Once you tear those tags away, the inner essence of every single life form is exactly identical to your own. It is the birthless, deathless Buddha nature. Since our fundamental essence is completely one and the same, how could there be any discrimination in giving love? Therefore, for a bodhisattva, love is not a calculated choice. It is an absolute necessity. It is not a matter of, I decide to love you, but rather, I am incapable of not loving you. Because the separation between you and me has completely lost all meaning. This is the great compassion of being one with the universe. The cosmos is my body, and all living beings are my life. If unconditional love is based on the theoretical understanding that we are all equal, then this unified compassion is the actual, lived experience of feeling another's reality as your own. Through the practice of stillness, the practitioner realizes not only the emptiness of the personal self, but also the emptiness of all phenomena. They realize that not only is the ego an illusion, but the mountains, rivers, earth, sun, moon, and stars are also reflections produced by the mind. At this point, the boundary between the self and the world completely melts away. The entire universe becomes their personal body of reality, and all living beings are simply cells within that vast body. Compassion ceases to be a mere moral emotion and becomes an instinctual, systemic reflex. If your own hand accidentally touches a hot stove, do you sit there and contemplate whether or not you should compassionately pull your hand away? Of course not. It is an instantaneous, instinctive, and unthinking reflex because that hand is an inseparable part of your physical body. A bodhisattva views living beings in the exact same way. When they see a being suffering in a hellish state, it feels as though their own eyes are being burned by fire. When they see a desperately greedy being, it feels as though their own stomach is being torn apart by hunger. They step forward to save living beings not because they want to feel noble and not because they want to collect spiritual merit points, but simply because the suffering of others is literally happening inside them. They have absolutely no other choice. This is the reality of unified compassion. Emptiness gives birth to great compassion. This is the inevitable logic moving from stillness to illumination. Now we can truly understand why realizing emptiness produces compassion. Because emptiness removes all separation, allowing you to become one with all things, and being one with all things naturally brings deep empathy. Because you are one with living beings, their pain is your pain, and the desire to remove that pain and bring them joy wells up automatically like an endless spring. Therefore, a Zen practitioner who truly sees into emptiness will never be cold or indifferent. Their inner heart burns hotter than anyone else's, though it is not the chaotic heat of emotional attachment, but the brilliant warmth of ultimate wisdom. Their inner mind remains as peaceful as a deep, still well, yet their actions shine out like the sun to light up the world. Why do so many bodhisattvas in the Maharatnakuta Sutra make such mind-bogglingly vast vows? And why do so many Buddhas build such extraordinarily beautiful Pure Lands? Those are not fairy tales or rigid moral lectures. They are the natural, inevitable expressions of illumination flowing from awakened beings who have thoroughly anchored themselves in the essence of stillness. Those 49 assemblies of scriptures are essentially 49 first-hand life reports on what it means to live out this universal compassion. This brings us to a foundational question. If an awakened being has thoroughly realized that all things are completely empty, why bother doing anything at all? If the world is nothing but a dream, an illusion, a bubble, or a shadow, why spend energy trying to fix a dream? If all living beings are already inherently Buddhas, why go through the trouble of saving them? If we do not understand this point, our realization of emptiness becomes stagnant like a pool of dead water. Our stillness turns into total numbness, and we stray far from the vibrant Mahayana path. The Zen answer is distilled into a single phrase: acting through non-action. Non-action is the essence of the mind, resting undisturbed in emptiness without fabricating a single thing. Acting through non-action is the expression of the mind, rising up to meet conditions, taking shape according to the situation, and accomplishing all things. How is this achieved? The key lies in a master principle, the emptiness of the three wheels. The three wheels refer to the three core elements present in any action. The subject performing the action, for example, me. The object receiving the action, for example, you. And the action itself, such as the gift being given. Ordinary people are deeply attached to these three wheels whenever they do something. They think, I am using my money to help you, which immediately creates strings of expectations, social debts, and a thirst for recognition, leading straight to mental friction. A bodhisattva's actions, however, are guided by ultimate wisdom, recognizing that the giver, the gift, and the receiver are all fundamentally empty. They are temporary combinations of causes and conditions without any fixed, independent reality. By clearing the mind of the attachment that screams, I am accumulating spiritual merit, the action itself becomes entirely pure, untainted, and truly aligned with the wisdom that crosses over to the other shore. When we view the six paramithas, the six virtues of perfection, mentioned repeatedly throughout the Maharatnakuta Sutra, through this Zen lens of the three wheels being empty, the virtues take on a completely new meaning. They are no longer rigid moral rules, but the natural, spontaneous radiation of an awakened mind. An ordinary person's giving is an act of sacrifice or letting go, They think, I have this item, I am willing to part with it, so I am giving it to you, which subtly contains a sense of personal pride. A bodhisattva's giving is an act of natural flowing, like clouds gathering to form rain that falls automatically to nourish the dry earth. The cloud never thinks to itself, look at me, I am generously donating water to the ground. A bodhisattva practices giving in the exact same way. Giving material help, teaching wisdom, or providing comfort during fear are all simply the natural overflowing of the mind's inherent virtues, without a single thought of a giver or a gift. An ordinary person's self-discipline or ethical behavior is an act of defense. They are terrified of making mistakes or falling into negative states, so they use the dam of moral rules to hold back the floodwaters of their desires, which is an act of suppression rather than true transformation. A bodhisattva's ethical behavior is an act of absolute purity, because they have seen directly into the source of the mind. The seeds of greed, anger, and ignorance have already withered away. They naturally have no desire to cause harm, and their behavior automatically aligns with harmony. Rules are no longer an external straitjacket, but a manifestation of total internal freedom, because their mind is already inherently pure. An ordinary person's patience or tolerance is an act of endurance. They grit their teeth, swallow their anger, and force themselves to stay quiet, meaning there is still a massive ego inside taking a beating and feeling insulted. A bodhisattva's patience is pure emptiness, because they clearly perceive that the concept of a separate ego is entirely empty. If there is no separate me to be found anywhere, where is the insult supposed to land? It is just like an arrow shot into thin air. As the Diamond Sutra states, if a practitioner holds onto the notions of a self, a person, a living being, or a lifespan, they are not truly a bodhisattva. A bodhisattva rests in the realm of no self, where all criticism or praise feels like a faint echo in an empty valley, heard for a second and then gone. An ordinary person's effort or diligence is a frantic chase. They set a goal and sprint toward it with everything they have, terrified of falling behind, which is a forced, conditioned behavior that fluctuates, going through bursts of energy followed by complete burnout. A bodhisattva's diligence is a continuous journey, like a great river flowing day and night toward the ocean. They are not trying hard. They are simply being exactly who they are, resting in their true nature. Every single breath, step, and daily activity is the practice itself, unfolding as an effortless, uninterrupted momentum. An ordinary person's meditation is a pursuit of quietness. They look for a silent room, cross their legs, watch their breath, and desperately chase after a peaceful state of mind. A bodhisattva's meditation is a movable stability. As the sixth patriarch taught, to remain unattached to outside appearances is Zen, and to remain undisturbed within is stability. True stability has absolutely nothing to do with your physical environment or your posture. A bodhisattva can remain completely unmoved at the core even in the middle of a chaotic, noisy marketplace, because their mind is never dragged around by external circumstances. This is the genuine meaning of being permanently grounded in peace, without a single moment of instability. Ultimate wisdom serves as the eyes and the commander for the other 5 virtues. Without wisdom, the first 5 practices remain merely worldly good deeds that bring temporary positive feedback. With the illumination of wisdom, recognizing that all 3 components of any action are empty, those everyday good deeds are elevated into unconditioned virtues that lead straight to liberation. Texts like the Sutra of the Assembly of the Bodhisattva Phalabhuti within the Maharatnakuta Sutra serve as prime examples of this principle of acting through non-action. It teaches us that an awakened being does not stop doing things. Rather, they act without an acting ego. They plunge actively into daily life, playing every single role perfectly, whether as a parent, a child, a co-worker, or a friend. Yet their inner mind remains completely untouched by attachment. They are like a lotus flower growing out of the mud, completely spotless and pure. This is the practical skill of illumination, using a mind of non-action to engage fully in everyday tasks, doing the work of awakening within the dream while knowing fully well that the dream is entirely empty. To an ordinary mind, a vow or a wish feels like something ethereal and abstract, a projection of something I want but do not currently possess. To an awakened mind, however, the power of a vow is a real, tangible force capable of shaping reality. Why? Because everything is created by the mind. An ordinary person's wishes lack power because their mind is scattered and bound by ignorance and unconscious habits. Their desires are like rootless duckweed tossed around by the waves. An awakened being's vows are staggeringly powerful because their mind is completely unified, pure, and aligned with the actual reality of the universe. Grounded securely in the essence of stillness, every single thought of illumination they send out hits with the precision of a laser and endures with the lifespan of a star. The 48 vows of Amitabha Buddha are the ultimate proof of vows creating reality. Through countless eons of practicing stillness, the Bhiksu Dharmakara thoroughly realized the source of the mind, and then made his great vows. Using the wondrous application of illumination, he manifested the pure blueprint of his mind into a tangible, real oasis in the universe, the Western Pure Land of ultimate bliss. Yet, we should not view this simply as a destination to escape to after death. Instead, we must take this blueprint as a step-by-step action plan to build a pure land right here, right now, in our daily lives. The 48 vows are not a distant fairy tale. They are the path right beneath our feet, marking the evolution from merely wanting to go to a pure land to actively building one. The first and second vows ensure that no lower realms of existence, hells, hungry ghosts, or animals, can exist in that pure land. What does this mean when we try to apply it to our world today? It means we must work to eliminate the psychological roots that cause these hellish states. When our communities are free from violence, bullying, and conflict, the realm of hell dissolves. When our world reduces hunger, poverty, and unchecked greed, the realm of the hungry ghost is put to rest. When we learn to respect all life forms and stop killing animal life mindlessly for pure amusement or greed, the animalistic realm of survival-driven ignorance is transformed. Keeping the fundamental commitments of protecting life, respecting property, and maintaining integrity, and encouraging others to do the same to create a peaceful, abundant, and harmonious environment. This is exactly how we live out Amitabha's first great vow right here on earth. The 16th vow states that no one in the Pure Land will ever even hear an unwholesome or negative word. How do we practice this today? It means practicing right speech, refusing to spread gossip, refusing to participate in rumors, refusing to use words to hurt others, and avoiding manipulative talk. Every sentence that leaves our mouths should be kind, encouraging, unifying, and full of sense. When we dedicate ourselves to cleaning up our linguistic environment, cutting down on toxic online comments, bringing more appreciation to heart, making them more aware, kinder, and wiser, is a direct fulfillment of this vow. When you look at it this way, the 48 vows are entirely a practical training manual for a bodhisattva living in the regular world. The Maharatnakuta Sutra includes these teachings to whisper a profound secret to us. The Bhikkhu Dharmakara is not a distant, mythological figure. He represents every single person who makes the decision to seek truth and help others. You and I can step into the shoes of Dharmakara. We too can look deeply into our own minds, anchor ourselves in the peace of stillness, and then outline our own vows to transform our lives, our families, our neighborhoods, and our world.